Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Yuko, and I am a happiness promoter and a student of A Course in Miracle. And I talk about my take on the Course in Miracle and the lessons and anything that comes up to me. So I hope that you are having a great day. If you're in New York, it's gorgeous outside and it's kind of hot too. So today's lesson is lesson 33. It said there's another way of looking at the world. There's another way of looking at the world. It's such a good it's such a good lesson. I love A Course in Miracle, and I love how everything is actually in alignment with my life. I don't know if it does because I'm following the course, it seems like it, or because I read Course in Miracle, or I am practicing that, I am more aware of it. I wonder, it could be either or, it could be both. So, right, there is always more than one side of the story, and even if that's only you involved, like you and the reality, quotes and quotes, or you and your imagination, and you and your thoughts, and you and your expectations, and you and your interpretation, and you and your perception all comes in. And what really brought me to this particular lesson is that my mom always said there is always more than one two doorknobs in every single door that you encounter in your life. And the one is very heavy and the other one is very light. And which one you choose, that's up to you, right? And I grew up listening to her say that all the time. And so, like, I'm so grateful that she trained me, or like she gave me this idea and the perspective early on in my life, so that like I'm always conscious about, okay, this is the one way I could look at thing, and this is the another way that I could look at thing. So I could see it as a person that who is more in the victim, and then why is it happening to me, as opposed to why is it happening for me, right? I was able to build that muscle like very early on, and I am so grateful for that. And for me, actually, that backfired me sometimes because, right, I could see both way. I could see either side of the story. I could see it in the victim side of the story, or I can see it in the more conscious side of the story. But when I'm actually feeling like a piece of garbage, when I know that like there is a side that oh, this is the lesson that I learned, this is the way that I get to forgive this people, or this is the way I get to learn something, but I'm not feeling it that way. So that disconnect really, really got me frustrated, and it got me like hated myself at times, right? Like sometimes I like, why am I not feeling this way? You know better than this. So it's like a constant the loophole, not loophole, the um, downward spiral, right? Like I'm beating myself up for beating myself, and it never ending beat up. So there's always another side to look at things, even beyond the two doorknobs. It's more than two doorknobs, right? So the way I interpret things, whether that is like the lighter doorknob or the heavier doorknob, there's always more than that, right? And I think it, I forgot what lesson. Okay, God, I think it was like a lesson 23 or 22, and it's that I do not perceive my own very best interest. That's lesson 24, actually. Is that I do not perceive my own best interest, right? And so many people have said, your best thinking got you here, so do you really want to rely on best thinking? I certainly do not want to rely on my best thinking. And I would love to surrender and say, hey, God, use me. Hey, will tell me what to do, tell me what to say, and show me who to talk to, where to go to. I would rather depend on that, and being able to surrender and say, like, I actually do not know my very best interest. That takes so much edges off. And like even this morning I was feeling like it, because the last couple of days I was feeling so high, and like I was so proud of myself, and then this morning, hey, maybe I should tone down a notch and say like be a little more humble. And so I started feeling like a little bit right. So when that happened, and I said, no, God, you know better than this. Like, you know better than I do. So what should I do? What should I do? And it's just a simple question like that that could really take you into the different space. So I thought that would be really helpful for anybody if you think that you have to figure it out, you have to know how to do it, or you have to know what you're supposed to be doing. If you're in that path, no, you really don't have to know anything, right? You get to have an idea, you get to have the expectations, you get to have the perceptions and assumption and all of that, and yet you do not know your own best interest. And isn't it kind of so cool to take the edge off of yourself and say, like, less pressure on you? Like, oh, to know everything. No, you don't. I don't have to. And, like, just let go and surrender and say, like, what should I be doing right now? And I think that it's so cool. So today's lesson is there is another way. There, I would say even more than another way. There is more ways to look at things beyond like you can even imagine. So be curious, keep asking yourself some questions, and if you come up with some cool questions that you want to ask yourself, and post it on the comment section so that I want to know, because maybe I want to ask that questions, you know, like maybe you have the questions that I never thought to ask myself. So if you come up with any question, please comment below, and if you had any aha, please weekend. Bye.